You're listening to the Booze and Bloodshed podcast.
A party, the Booze and Bloodshed Studios.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're so happy that y'all have chosen to join us this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be listening from. As always, we are here to dish and discuss all things boozy and bloody. True crime and/or horror movies will be our focus every week, along with an alcoholic beverage that we think will pair well with the subject of each episode. Today, we are going to be talking about the case of Adolph Coors III, and we're pairing that with
the 2021 Firestone Walker Mezca Limon. Mezca Limon, vintage number 1. This is a mezcal and orange bitters barrel-aged ale brewed with agave nectar, chili, sea salt, and lime peel. 13.5%. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one.
I am too.
We haven't had a beer in quite a while, actually. And this is the 13.5%, and we're splitting it.
Well, we haven't had a beer in quite a while personally. I think the podcast before the one before we had one.
What? What did you just say?
Not the last podcast, but the one before we had a beer.
Oh, the last podcast we did.
Personally, we don't really drink too much beer anymore.
We don't drink a lot.
We had one the other day, but that was like the first one in a while.
What was that? Is that the one that we did with Sven?
No, at Brass Tap. The podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, but we had two. I had two at Brass Tap. But since then, I haven't had beer.
Yeah.
I've been drinking mostly freaking tequila.
I haven't had a beer since then.
What's wrong with me? They grow up so fast.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So we're going to do... There. Oh. Okay, so 2021 Mezca Limon from Firestone Walker. I don't have anything else, but I'm going to read the box real quick, and I'll try to go as quick as I can.
Is that supposed to still be on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Leah, the producer.
No, I thought it was like when, you drive and you turn your blinker on and you forget that the blinker's on.
Now it's off.
I was just asking.
Are you happy? It's off.
Just wondering.
So it says our brewery began in 1996 when we delved into the art of fermenting beer in oak barrels. 10 years later, we took our barrel machinations to the next level by aging beer in vessels inherited from bourbon houses and other spirit producers. Ever since, the resulting beers
we're struggling today.
Have flown under the banner of proprietors vintage series. There's a lot to read on here. It's so small that I'm losing my place.
Oh,
and I'm wearing reading glasses. I'm wearing reading glasses.
You need to go to the eye doctor.
You need to kiss my ass. Okay, so let's go back to this. Many years ago, a friend from Mexico introduced our barrel program manager, Eric Ponce, to the wonders of Mezcalita cocktail. Mezcalita cocktail. Cocktail?
Tot kale.
So it was a dream come true when Eric managed to produce barrels from an array of Osaka barrel mezcal producers, all with the intent of crafting this mezcalita-inspired beer. Echoing the traditional mezcalita recipe, the specialty beer we brewed with agave, chili peppers, and sea salt. It was then aged in mezcal barrels with a complement matured in orange bitters. Shit. Enjoy the beer now, or sell it in a cool, dark place for 45 degrees to 55 degrees, allowed to warm up the glass serving. We're drinking it cold.
They fit all of that shit on the back of the box.
Yes, look at that. That's why I was losing my place.
That is kind of small.
It was small. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it. And in the bottle, you can already see that it's a lighter color, so it's not like it's a dark stout. I don't know what style it is.
And this came in a box.
Came in a box. And a small bottle. That. This is what, a 12-ounce bottle? So I'm going to open it real quick. Oh.
Ooh.
Well, that was like cheesy as hell. Okay. I mean.
What? So you know more about Firestone Walker than I do. What is the deal with the animals? The lion and the bear?
I don't know. I can't remember. Probably something to do with California.
Oh, is this from California?
They're in California, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They make some pretty good beers. Let me pour yours real quick.
What is that one that's in Dallas? Isn't there a Firestone Walker in Dallas?
No. Ooh, you can smell the barrels in that.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
Nope.
Where that one guy worked and he was offering to help you and stuff at the brewery?
Oh, no. That's a distillery.
What is that?
That was Firestone Robertson.
Robertson.
They
Okay.
make TX
Okay.
tequila. They make
Okay.
TX bourbon.
I was like, dude, I swear this is the same thing. Okay. Honestly, that's the reason I bought this is because that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was from there.
That was bourbon.
That is a thicken.
It is a thicken. So color came out. Here you go.
Very. Hold it up to the
It's
light.
dark amber. It's a dark amber colored.
Ooh, it's a pretty orange color.
It's
Like a
orange.
dark orangish red,
Okay, what's amber to
which
me?
I guess is amber.
So I'm gonna give this a sniff.
Oh, that smells like apples. Boozy apples.
I smell the boozy chili peppers. That's throwing me off.
I smell like
That's kind of cool.
I smell like
cool as shit.
a sour green apple. A very boozy one.
And I'm getting barrel smoke and chilies.
What is the flavor profile supposed to be as far as like not flavor, but like the aroma profile?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. He doesn't say, but that's what we're just going to go off of what we're getting on this. But I'm getting big time barrel. I'm getting boozy and chili peppers. It smells like you're sniffing chili powder.
I don't smell that. I can't believe you don't smell the apple thing.
I smell it faintly, but for me the chili's is stronger. That's weird. Okay, so and the
chili at all.
saltiness, I can kind of smell a little bit of the saline part. Sea salt.
Could that agave be what's smelling like that?
It could be. It could be. Let's give it a taste. Here we go. Oh wow. That's cool.
Strange. It's very complex.
That is badass. Exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's not like we're going to slam a lot of these, but one will do. But
A dab will do ya.
A dab will do. But it's like it's layered. There's a lot of flavors in that, and it's one of. It seems like it's one of those beers that you want to kind of drink it and dissect it. It's very sweet up front to me, but I'm giving it a taste.
I don't know what to think about that.
I'm still getting aroma when I drink it is hardcore chili powder and agave.
Ooh, you know what's weird is if you take a really big gulp and you kind of like, this sounds gross, but if you kind of really like let it sit in your mouth, it warms your mouth up. Just like, my mouth feels warm. I guess it's like the chili pepper thing.
That is boozy as hell.
It is. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
It's good. It is good.
Maybe it's
to sip. I don't. It's not one you want to fill your mouth. You don't want to like. But I like the you get the saltiness of it, the sea salt. I can taste the agave. I get a lot of chili powder up in the aroma and taste. Orange bitters. I got that on the back end. That really orangey bitterness in the back side. That's the bitters. It's good. Maybe I think this might be better in the wintertime though.
Yeah, it's a little too.
It's a
little too heavy.
Yeah, considering what we've been drinking so much of lately, it's kind of like.
I guess that's true.
But this, I would. How much did you pay for this? You remember?
I want to say it was like $15 or $16
for a 12-ounce bottle of it. I mean, I don't know. It's good. It's good.
I don't think I'd buy it again.
It's very complex, and I would wait until fall or winter to have this.
I would say this is a fall beer.
So, Firestone Walker did do a good job in this beer. This is exactly what
I don't think it's bad. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's exactly what they said it was.
Yeah.
And
well, I never got the chili thing on anything.
That's strange. That's the first thing I get.
Well, but again, I also ate some chocolate before we did this.
Did you really? Damn it.
I ate some of those chocolate-covered almonds.
That's right.
Stop.
Well, that kind of fucked your palate.
I guess.
So I would say, if you're going to get this, cellar it, because as you cellar your beer, it matures and it smooths out. But I personally would wait until fall or winter to drink this.
Maybe I would feel differently then.
And right in the fall, if it's getting kind of chilly with a campfire, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. So it's not a bad beer. It's good. I think it's a good beer. I think it's very layered and very complex. But if it's hot outside, I don't think you'd appreciate it as much if it was cooler outside.
I think it's a trier. You definitely need to try it.
Yeah.
Do I think you need to go out and buy everything they have at the store? No.
Yeah.
No.
They do make really good beers.
I think this is the first one I've had.
They have a great IPA. I mean, they have great beers. They have
a great IPA.
They have a Parabola, which is just a phenomenal beer. So they have some really good stuff.
I know that you've drank it before, like when we've gone to places like Brass Tap, but I don't think I've ever had one.
Yeah. So they make very solid stuff. And this is just an off-the-wall barrel-aged beer. It's very complex. So if you're going to drink this, just keep in mind it's complex. It's sweet. It's
an upper scale beer.
It's
not a slammer.
It is a sipper. I think it is.
It's a sipper.
It's a highbrow sipper.
That's a good way to put it. That's exactly what it is.
So I think it's a good job. I'm kind of liking the chili pepper part of it.
I say this all the time. I will say, but anytime I've had a beer that has like chili pepper in it, like for like mango nata beers or things like that, or like generally Mexican beers where they try to really like include that in there and push the chili pepper thing, it always comes out tasting, that's all I taste.
Like chili?
Yes, and I feel like it kind of ruins it. It makes it turn into like a heartburn beer.
Yeah, this is definitely balanced.
This doesn't do that, yeah.
This is very balanced. It's complex, so get it for a sipper, not a slammer.
What's weird is it kind of is like really sweet, and then it like goes away really fast.
It diminishes. The aftertaste kind of lays on your tongue for a while too, but it's good. I mean, it's good for what it is. They described exactly what it tastes like. It's like when you get a beer from Martin House and they call it something, it tastes just like that. This tastes just like what they describe. So I like it. Would I buy it again? I would probably try it again when it's cooler outside.
Do you get the tequila thing?
Yep, I do. It's just kind of lingering around a little bit. But I will say this, though. If you wouldn't have told me it was aged in tequila or mezcal beer barrels,
you probably wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have been able to pick it out.
It almost tastes like you know what the smell and the taste is like to me, the upfront taste? Like a really sweet stout. That's what that tastes like to me.
Dude, I'm getting, that's the aroma's starting to smell like tahini a little bit.
I'm just not.
Chili powder tahini, man. It's like
I'm just not getting that.
That is crazy.
I don't
it is
smell
so
it or
strong to me. It's so strong. So, yeah, I wouldn't chase it.
It tastes smoky.
It does taste smoky. That's probably the mezcal part and the chili peppers.
Maybe.
And I wouldn't chase it. I mean, I wouldn't like put a mule in the line and try to buy a bottle for me. But it's good for what it is. But is it worth $17 that you paid for it? Probably not.
I don't think so either.
No, so it's a good beer, Firestone. Good job. But why do they release it in spring? Well, they seem like they should release it in the fall.
I don't know. Like I think that's a heavy beer. I mean, because, and you know what? I picked this up because we've been drinking tequila and stuff, but like, it also, this is kind of misleading. The front of the bottle where it says like what's in it, because to me that sounds like, oh, that's going to be like a really refreshing summery beer. And then you drink it and the upfront mouthfeel and just taste is like stouty, folly.
Does the box have the ABV on it? Is it on the back? Because we have another one of these too, right? You got something else from Firestone that's got hibiscus in it. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that one's more. It does
not say on the box anywhere.
Not in the back?
Nope.
But 13.5% alcohol. It's boozy as hell.
That is a sneaker upper. The only hint that I would have of that is the fact that when you first taste it, it tastes like a really sweet stout. Otherwise, it's so smooth, like I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I'm getting some like smoky vanilla on the backside too.
Yeah, I get the smokiness for sure.
So it's a good beer. So I would suggest trying it.
I think you should try it, but maybe not at your own expense.
Is it going to be? Is it going to be like one that you're going to chase every year? I doubt it.
No, probably. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good one-off beer. Have it once, try it once, be done with it.
Yep, totally agree. Yes. So that's it. Firestone Walker's Mezca Limon 2021 Vintage Series.
So today we are going to be talking about the case of Adolph. Is it Coors? Coors.
Yes, Coors.
Coors. That's how my redneck friends used to call them, Coors.
That's what it is.
So as you may have guessed, it is about one of the family members of the Coors. What would you call it? A dynasty, a fortune, company.
Considering how much money they came up with back then, I'm sure it's a dynasty.
Yeah. So how long has that been around?
1870 something.
That is such a long time.
Yeah, it's been around since 1870 something. Yeah.
So his name is Adolph Coors III. And so we actually watched this on Forensic Files, and there was some stuff that I accidentally left off in the notes that we saw in Forensic Files.
We remembered most of it, though.
Because I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And then I had done some research, obviously, online for it. And then I got finished, and I was like, oh, my God, there was this and this and this that I didn't include in there. So we'll probably cover that.
That's why you have your notes and you have mine as Brandon. But I'll have to say this, though. I didn't remember until we saw that. I was like, I thought I remember somebody saying something about this happening a long time ago, that one of them were killed and kidnapped and killed. But I didn't know the details of it.
Well, I had watched that quite a while ago. And so I probably said something to you about it, and then I forgot about it.
I'm thinking,
like you had just heard that at some point.
Yeah, like it was supposedly common knowledge at that point. I don't know. And I didn't know anything about it. And I saw this, I'm like, oh, that happened? I'm like, oh, shit, I remember that happening. Not like happening when I was a dog.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. But, yeah, and then at the end of it, I was like, damn, this is kind of a cool story.
It is.
Not that killing somebody and murdering somebody and kidnapping somebody is
but you just wouldn't think. It doesn't really happen to high-profile people. So, like, when it does, it's always a big thing. But is it warming up and getting hard to drink?
It's warming up for sure.
But murders and kidnappings or whatever, horrible things don't normally happen to high-profile people like this. And, this is such a random person to me for this to happen to.
It was a high-profile person, so there's obviously a reason that they did it. And it was all, well, we'll get into it, I guess. So
we're going to kind of spoil it from the get-go. So the guy that did end up kidnapping and killing him, his name is Joseph Corbett Jr., and the whole time I was writing these notes, I kept starting to write John Corbett. And I was like, that's not his name. Like the guy from the movie that we did last time, the Sex and the City guy.
Oh, God.
And I was like, his name's not John. What is it? So I kept having to go back.
Your boy?
Joseph.
Your crush?
So Joseph Corbett Jr., he was born on October 25th, 1958 in Seattle, Washington. Again, what the hell is up with everybody in the Pacific Northwest?
Well,
they're like all murderers.
We know firsthand how that shit happened. Is it just because it's
miserable up there? Like everybody's just unhappy as hell.
Somebody chasing your ass across the highway.
But he was born to Canadian immigrants, and his father was a newspaper editor. His father's name was Joseph Corbett Sr., obviously, since he is junior.
Wow.
And his wife, Marion K. Corbett of Minnesota. So this surprised me. He was highly intelligent, and he was a Fulbright scholar.
So most of these guys that are doing this stuff are like supposedly very highly intelligent people.
Yeah. Something about this case, and I don't know what it is, but something about it was very like Zodiac killer to me. Oh, are you okay?
I'm done with it.
Oh, I still haven't even finished it. Do you want the rest of mine?
No. Thank you. No, thank you.
But yeah, he was a Fulbright scholar at one point, which is pretty major.
A what scholar?
A Fulbright scholar.
What is that? Oh, full ride scholar. Sorry, I didn't hear you right.
Am I hearing this in my headphones, or is it like actually on here?
I turned my headphones down.
I was like, is that supposed to be in?
Shit.
But he.
I turned my headphones down.
But he had started going to school at the University of Oregon, but he didn't finish his degree. In 1950, his mother, Marion, fell to her death from a balcony inside the family's home.
Jesus.
That sounds very...
big.
It's very, very The Omen. Remember when we watched The Omen and Damien, like, pushed her over, like, the...
No.
That was not that long ago that we watched that. You just totally don't. You just... Everything goes in one ear and out the other.
I'm starting to think I just don't retain shit. That's all it is.
You have too much shit to worry about at work.
I guess so.
You do. So he kind of like started unraveling after that happened, which I can imagine, but you don't like do crazy shit. I mean, you just mourn and move on.
She fell from a balcony inside the home. This had to be a big ass house.
That is suspicious as shit.
Oh.
How do you fall from a balcony? You know. And that was it. I mean, I never found anything else beyond that. It was just that she fell and
I wonder if he had anything to do with that.
Or his dad.
Or his dad. Whatever.
You just don't know.
But you don't know.
But 6 months after that happened, he murdered an Air Force sergeant who was hitchhiking near Hamilton Air Force Base in California with a single shotgun shot. To the face? Gunshot to the back of the head.
Oh yeah, he tried to claim it was like defense or something. Right?
Yeah, he said it was self-defense.
But they're like to the back of the head, dude. That's not defense.
That's exactly how they said it too.
I'm sure they did back
then. Yeah, so he had claimed it was self-defense, but everybody was like, okay, blow that smoke up somebody else's ass because we know that's not true. And so
Very nice.
He was convicted and sentenced on March 15th, 1951 to 5 to life in a maximum security prison.
How do you get 5 years for killing somebody and shooting them in the back of the head?
I do not understand the justice system because it's always like these extremely...
Guess what? It still sucks.
It does, but it's always these like extremely random numbers. Like it's not 50, it's not 100, like 50 to life, it's 5 to life.
I guess like, 5 years for good behavior, but if you're an asshole, it's for the rest of your life.
Well, but if you kill somebody, you don't normally only get 5 years.
Is it getting hot in here again? I think it's that beer.
I'm not hot.
I might need to turn the fan on.
That's okay.
Okay. We're probably going to hear it, but whatever.
But yeah, due to good behavior, he was transferred to a minimum security prison in, is it Chino, California?
Encino?
Chino.
Encinas?
Chino.
Oh, Chino.
Chino. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. In Chino, California, but he had later escaped on August 1st, 1955.
That fan feels so good now.
I'm not hot at all.
I sweat. And I think it's the beer.
So after he escaped, he moved to Denver, Colorado with the adopted alias Walter Osborne, which is very significant to this. So he moved to Colorado and ended up working at a paint factory there.
What's the significance of Walter Osborne?
That is his alias while he's there. Were you not watching?
I don't understand the
same
significance.
Thing? It's going to come up.
Okay, let's go.
I think you're looking to get beat. So we're going to stop there for now and talk about, is it Adolph Coors. He was born January 12th, 1915. That motherfucker is old. But he was a reserved and well-respected business and family man. He was also the president and heir of the Coors. I keep feeling like I'm saying that wrong. Coors.
It's Coors.
The Coors. Coors Brewery that he ran alongside his brothers William and Joseph. How weird is that? His brother's name is Joseph too.
We're getting there to the significance.
But he had been married for 20 years and was the father of 4 children. That's so sad.
Does it say how old his kids were at this time?
I never found that.
Okay.
It's just always, everything I found was like just very vague about both of them. Like, there wasn't much information on either Corbett or Coors.
They weren't detailed about this part, but the rest of it, they're like fucking detailed on everything.
I know. I looked on a lot of different websites, and I couldn't find, like, it was hard for me to even find the first murder that he did with that guy. Because when we watched Forensic Files, it was just very, what? When we watched Forensic Files, it was just very like, oh yeah, he killed somebody. Why are you laughing?
Nothing. It's funny that we're talking about.
Piss me off.
It's funny that we're just talking about how we watched on Forensic Files.
I love Forensic Files.
It's funny.
I don't give a shit.
Bitch, I don't care.
Everybody watches Forensic Files, but I mean, we're talking about this because I didn't hear about it until I hadn't heard of this case until maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. Because of Forensic Files.
God.
But
I swear, all you want to do is watch this kind of stuff. That's all you want to watch.
It's interesting. It's educational. Because I like how at the end, they're like, because of this and this and this, now this is a big part of forensic.
Look, we got 3 things that we watch at this point.
No, we don't.
Forensic Files.
What else?
Sex in the City always.
We don't always watch Sex in the City. I didn't watch that for a long time.
And then what's that? Euphoria.
We haven't watched Euphoria in a while.
And then what's the other one?
The second season is over. Well, that's 3. You said we watched 3 things. That's it.
Shit.
Maybe some Will and Grace tossed in there.
I said, bitch.
Did you hear me?
Yes, tossed in there. Will and Grace. I'm like, can we just watch a comedy every now and then? That's all I want to watch.
We watched Something's Gotta Give the other night. That's a good one.
Summer is just around.
There it is again. Well, I mean, that was only like the 7th or 8th time we watched that.
I love that movie. Okay, you know how many times I have watched Back to the Future and Meet the Parents,
I think we're
Meet the
pretty much-
Fockers, Little Fockers.
I think we're pretty much even.
No, I have seen those way more than you have seen Something's Gotta Give.
How about the rest of the shit we watch?
Okay.
Leah doesn't watch regular TV. She's always going to HBO Max or Hulu to watch something that has to do with fucking murder.
That's not true.
I totally distracted this whole thing. Sorry.
Not true. But I like Hulu, but I hate the commercials on it, but it's still shorter commercials than TV, and that's why I don't watch TV. I hate commercials. I wouldn't mind TV if there was no commercials.
Okay.
You always go.
Okay.
So anyway, back to the story. In the early morning of February 9th, 1960, Adolph left his home to travel the 12 miles from his home. I didn't realize how dumb that sounded until I read it. He left his home to travel the 12 miles from his home.
What is so funny?
I wrote it. I wrote he left his home to travel the 12 miles from his home.
Where are we at? Are we on the same page?
Yes, we're still on that page.
Oh, there it is. Adolph left his home to travel the 12 miles.
From his home.
From his home. He left 12 miles from his home. God. Oh, we have to edit this part?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, I feel like I just got some abs from that.
Some
That was
what?
fun. Some abs from laughing.
Oh, that said you feel like you just got some ass for that. Okay, well. Are you okay? Damn, you okay?
I'm gonna cry. Well, anyway, from his home in Morrison, well, he lived on a ranch. Why are you looking at me like that? You're going.
I'm just looking.
But from his home in Morrison to the brewery in Golden, Colorado. Okay, this is where I got confused. I kept seeing that his car was called a Travelall. Have you heard of that?
No.
An international Travelall station wagon. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either, but I'm pretty sure people that collect internationals do.
But yeah, his car was later found empty on the one-way bridge over Turkey Creek. An area.
Was it under the bridge, like in the dirt?
No, it was on the bridge.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was traveling to work.
Yes.
And Mr. Corbett Jr.
This was 2 miles from his house.
Corbett Jr. was staging like he was stuck on the side of the road with something wrong with his car on a bridge.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
the person that wasn't paying attention.
I didn't say you weren't paying attention.
Never.
I never said that. But I don't remember that. I don't remember them talking about like how he flagged him down.
Yeah, he was parked on a bridge like right by his house. And like something was wrong with his car. And Mr. Coors pulls up behind him and acts like,
I totally missed that.
For whatever it is, they talked about it, whatever. And then the guy pulls out a gun and he starts to run off and then he shoots him in the back twice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because they talked about that at the very end, right? When they kind of figured out how the crime happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do remember that. But when investigators arrived on the scene, they found bloodstains on the nearby road and on the railing of the bridge where his car had been left. They did end up going around the bank of the creek, and they also found his baseball cap and his plastic-rimmed glasses that he had been wearing when he left his home.
So somebody gave the police a tip that they saw the vehicle and they just happened to recognize a little bit of the license plate as well when they gave them a tip. But I thought they were saying that the car was
a hunter or something.
I thought they were saying like the car was down in the creek, but I guess it wasn't.
No, it was still on the bridge. But the next day, the FBI received a letter, or they found a letter. Yeah, they recovered a letter in the Morrison post office addressed to Coors' wife, Mary.
Mm-hmm. Addressing that he wants $500,000.
And when we watched that the other night, we did like a inflation calculator, and what was that, like almost $4.7 million?
It was almost $5 million. And she and they came up with the money too. It's like
well, I mean, that was probably just like nothing to them.
I mean, imagine now.
Even back then. And 10s and 20s.
That's a lot. How the hell?
That's weird. Why would you care how it came?
10s and 20s. I guess it's not trackable. It was easy.
I guess. I don't know. And he had instructed her to advertise a tractor for sale in the Denver Post and then to wait for the call. It said, quote unquote, call the police or FBI. He dies. Cooperate. He lives. Unquote. So the kidnapper wrote that. So she goes
straight to the FBI.
Yes. And so she placed the ad as instructed and waited, but there was no call nor any word or whisper of what had happened to her husband.
You know what sounds good right now?
What?
A Fortaleza ranch water.
It does.
Okay.
We can get that when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But in the weeks to come, she'd received more than 50 ransom notes. All were hoaxes. That is fucked up. How do you do that to somebody? Her husband's missing. She has no idea what's happened to him. And
it's no different than what people do now on the internet.
I
guess. Same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess because I'm not that way, I just think that's fucked up. But there was no call from the kidnapper. She never got a call. And so with little to go on, the FBI focused on a few slim clues. Most of the attention was aimed at the canary yellow Mercury. So I guess his car was yellow. Corbett's car. One man, like you said, remembered that the license plate had in quote unquote AT in the numeral 62. Based on that one tidbit, FBI agents traced the car and matched fingerprints found during the investigation to Denver resident Walter Osborne.
Walter. Have we gotten to the significance of this yet?
Well, that's part of the significance of this.
Okay.
So Joseph Corbett Jr., his alias is Walter Osborne. And now they've traced a car back to Walter Osborne.
Which was his alias.
Yes.
Which is what he was living by. I don't understand why that's so significant.
Because he's the person.
Right. I don't know. So, okay.
How do you not understand that?
Because it's his name that he chose anyway. It's going to be under that name. But
the significance is that when I said that, it was like you're going to find out why that's important later on in the story. Like why his name.
Well, I would just think that if you went by a different name, everything from that point forward was going to be that name. So, but I agree with you.
You don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Who had until recently been working in a paint factory. On March 30th, Corbett appeared on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. They had that back then? I didn't know that. I thought that didn't come out until like America's
It's
Most
like you're
Wanted.
asking me like I lived it back then.
Like America's Most Wanted with what's his name? Who's the guy that did that show?
John
Walsh.
John
Walsh. His voice is so scary.
Walsh.
But through the summer, despite a gigantic manhunt, there was no sign of either the fugitive or the missing beer magnate.
Yeah, so they went to his apartment, right?
Yes.
Went to the apartment and tried to find stuff. They couldn't find anything. He had moved.
Well, I think...
But neighbors told them that they told the FBI that they could hear him typing a lot throughout the night.
Yes, and so that was part of the investigation, and that is what after I did the notes and everything, I was like, oh shit, I forgot that. I forgot that part.
Shit.
I forgot that part. So that was a really big part of how they figured out who he was on top of his car, is that he had purchased a really specific typewriter, and it is mind-blowing to me that people can figure shit like that out just based on how something's typed.
And this is back in, what, the 50s and 60s?
Yes.
And they're going back, they're checking, like, how typewriters type certain fonts, and they identify which typewriter was based on the error or the flaw that it typed one letter small, a little bit lower than the rest of them, which is how they tied it back to the model and the make of the typewriter.
Well, but before that, they already knew the model and the make of the typewriter based on just the style of the letters. Mm-hmm. I was like I would never figure that out.
Curved up a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy, but yeah, they traced it back to him specifically because of, like Brandon said, the flaw.
Which is pretty cool, but that's not even the unique part of this whole case. We'll get there. We'll get there.
But then on September 11th, a pizza truck driver...
September 11th.
That's just a bad date for everybody.
Significant. Remember this.
A pizza truck driver went out for some target practice. Why couldn't they just say a person? Like, why did they... If he's not delivering pizza, why does it matter what the fuck he did?
Because he's probably delivering something.
No, he went out for target practice.
In between pizzas.
Probably not. Near a dump in the Rocky Mountain foothills southwest of Denver. He found a pair of trousers.
Those are pants.
I was just about to say pants. With a label that read, expressly for Mr. A. Coors III, and a penknife in the pocket with the inscription AC III.
Which is Adolph Coors.
Yes. So he called the police, and then when they arrived about 500 yards away, they found human bones from a man about 6'1", which was Coors' height, and a skull. Dental records would later confirm the family's worst fears. Coors had been shot twice in the back at close range.
Twice.
He
was shot in the back of the head, in his back twice.
I always think it's so
cool. When they found him, they found a jacket with 2 bullet holes in the back of it.
Yes. But didn't
so when they found the...
you motherfucker. You better stop it.
They found Coors in the...
I'm about to... Are you okay? I think that beer's hitting you, and you only had half of it.
I'm okay.
Your face is all red and everything.
Oh, that was funny.
But I think it's cool.
He was about 500 yards away. They found his bones.
Like, motherfucker, I can't say nothing.
That's the last one I'm going to do.
I hope so. It better be.
She's for real.
But I think it's cool that... Are you gonna do it again?
I said that was my last one.
I think it's cool that teeth... I know this sounds stupid because everybody knows that teeth are bones, but like I think it's so cool that you can, even after somebody's skeletonized and everything, like you know exactly who it is just based on their teeth. I think that is so cool.
All the dental work.
Yes, I think that's so fascinating. So at this point they had pretty much already figured out who did this. Like they knew who it was and they were looking for him. But
they can't find him.
But like you said, when they went to visit his apartment, motherfucker had packed up and he was gone. He was gone.
Yep.
And his landlord had said that he had told him that, what was it? Like he was gonna go do some kind of different job in like a different area, and that's why he was leaving. And he was just like out of there the next day, the day after he died. Mm-hmm. And his neighbor had said that he had been hearing him type all night, and that was kind of like the aha thing for the police. Like, we know that's him. Mm-hmm. And he had also told a coworker at the paint factory that they needed to watch for something really big that was going to happen, and that was going to be in the news, and then you would never see him again.
Yeah, so his pictures pretty much at that point spread around newspapers, magazines.
Yes, and Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest. I guess back then I forgot about Reader's Digest. I wanted an FBI poster, and in Toronto, somebody saw his picture in Reader's Digest article, told the police he looked very much like a former co-worker.
Yes.
So at that point, they moved up to Toronto.
But he had already fled from that area.
On top of his shit.
Yes. So it would be October 29th before the law would catch up with the fugitive in Vancouver.
October 29th is significant. Remember that.
Why?
It's going to come up later.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God. You are such a butt. I was like...
It is.
I guess that's something I didn't pay attention to. You're just making fun of me.
I'm not either.
Yes, you are. But before they would catch up with him in Vancouver, British Columbia, a.k.a. Canada. And tipped off in part by another flashy automobile. For his dash to the north, Corbett rented a fire engine red Pontiac, the kind of car no one else could ignore.
Pontiac. They don't even make those anymore.
Do they not?
Nope.
I feel like I see them all the time.
They don't make them anymore.
But in the end, after they caught up with him, there was no guns blazing, no desperate attempts at flight.
Oh, yeah, he turned himself in, didn't he?
It was very,
I'm your man.
It was almost like Catch Me If You Can. You know when he finally gets after him in Paris, and then he has a hold of him, and he's like, well, the cops are outside. If you come with me now, like, it'll be a better situation. So he gets a hold of him, and they go outside, and he's just like, you motherfucker, there's nobody out here. So he just like kind of calmly goes with him.
He gave himself up.
But yes, he did, like Brandon said, I'm your man. But no one had actually ever seen the killing happen, but prosecutors had a strong case based on circumstantial evidence. I did not think that circumstantial evidence would even let you go to trial for somebody. Like, I thought a lot of times circumstantial evidence, they would just throw it out because they'd be like, you don't have hard proof.
I don't know.
You were shaking your head like you were about to say something. But oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
That laugh. His coworkers told of the defendant's boast that he was again planning something big, and it would net him $1 million. Well, then why the fuck did he ask for $500,000 and not $1 million?
In tens and what was it? Tens and 20s or tens and
$500,000, $1 million doesn't even net you $1 million. So $500,000 sure doesn't net you $1 million. What a dumb thing to say. Forensics. That was just dumb. Forensic scientists showed that the ransom note came from a typewriter Corbett had purchased. The star witness, however, was the yellow mercury. By examining dirt on the undercarriage...
This is where it gets kind of interesting.
It is, because I did not think that you could figure things out like this. By examining dirt on the undercarriage, investigators drew a map of the car's journey. There were 4 layers of dirt. One contained dirt and particles matching those in the Atlantic City dump, but the others contained pink feldspar and granite, the kind of rocks and minerals found at the site where Coors' body had been found and on the roads around the Coors ranch.
So they went and basically did a bunch of soil samples everywhere to try to find one that matches... Back then, who knew they did that much shit?
I was just about to say, even something, and I don't think that's simple, but for somebody that is an expert in that area, it's simple to them. I didn't even think that they could do something like that back then. You know what I mean? Like, I thought looking at evidence was just very shallow back then.
Evidence?
Evidence? I didn't say evidence.
I did.
So I just didn't think that was something that they did.
They went pretty
back in the 1960s.
They were pretty extensive on all that stuff, looking at soil.
Yes.
That's just who I would have never known that.
No, it's interesting. On March 29th, 1961, the jury found Corbett guilty. Although sentenced to life, Corbett, a model prisoner, was paroled in December 1980. God damn, how many times is he going to get let out of prison? That's nuts.
Why are you asking me? I had nothing to do with this shit.
He kills people, and then he just gets these, like, super light sentences. But, yeah, he was paroled in 1980. He took a job in Denver as a truck driver for the Salvation Army and lived quietly, speaking rarely of the case. And then in a 1996 interview with the Denver Post, one of the few times he did speak, he broke his silence and insisted he was innocent and that the FBI had framed him.
Yeah, that's what they did, Mr.
Yeah,
Typewriter.
I mean, they went to all this fucking trouble and they framed you. On August 24th, 2009, at 80 years old, Corbett's body was found in his apartment that he had lived in for 29 years with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. So, I don't know. Something about that is kind of sad to me, even though he killed people. I don't know.
What, that he killed himself?
I think he probably just should have stayed in prison.
At 80?
That kind of reminds me of that, what is that movie?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one with the prisoners.
Where he's, what is that called? That mindset when you've been in prison for so long.
Institutionalized.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank.
Yeah, where that was such a sad part of that movie. But yeah, what was that? That was the case of Adolph Coors III.
With the Firestone Walker Mezca Limon, whatever it was, mezcal and orange bitters, barrel-aged, brewed with agave nectar, citrus, sea salt, and lime peel. Or chili. It is not citrus, chili, and lime peel. So,
if you have a suggestion for a beer, wine, liquor, cocktail, movie, crime case, what have you, contact us at boozeandbloodshed@gmail.com. You can also give us a follow at Booze and Bloodshed either on Instagram or on Facebook. And yeah,
if you can't find us anywhere streaming, just search on Google Booze and Bloodshed. You'll find all the podcast places that we're at.
Yeah,
we're pretty much worldwide at this point.
Yeah,
like literally,
we are.
Yeah.
We're major.
All right, well, that's it. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.